So we are live right now. Hi everyone. Welcome to this second show of the Destro Dev Show. Here we have today Juan, and let's meet Juan. Hello Juan. How are you?
Hey, hello, Shaga. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I really thanks for joining our show, and we are really actually pleased to have you. And we really are excited to know about you and your product Verdaccio and in general. So maybe please share something about your journey and how you started coding and how you started Verdaccio.
Okay, that's a long story. So my name is Juan Picado. So you can call me Juan. It's faster.
Yeah.
I'm senior front-end engineer at eBay. So I actually teammate of Jahada, but working in different buildings and different projects, but still partners.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, basically I've been front-end part of my career and also a little bit back-end. And I live in several places, Nicaragua, Austria, and I'm living in Germany. I'm from Spain. Um, and I started to do open source really early, like in 2009 in another project, which basically was like a sandbox for learning, right?
Yeah.
And in 2016, I was willing to learn Node.js. And then I started to use a project named Sinopia. Do you know that project? Do you know that? Sinopia. Okay.
No, I actually don't know. Sorry. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
worries. And yeah, so I was a user,
Yeah.
and basically I noticed the project was not maintained anymore, and then I didn't actually really need that project for my work, for my
Yeah.
own stuff. And so I decided to basically fix the test and try to something new. Um, and actually, this is how I started on the break. I did not create the break. I actually started as a contributor, and and yeah. So 4 years later, here we are.
No, it's really amazing to see that you started open source in 2009. You said, right?
Yeah,
Which is really early. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you think from that open source, that buzzword and everything, so it's really good that you started so early. And then Verdaccio, so that is also becoming a bigger product slowly, right? So how you guys reached till today?
everything started really small, and actually, um, I think because it's a unique project. Actually, when I started to contribute, and then the the founders of the project actually gave me the owner rights.
Mm.
I started to work on it. I noticed the potential because currently there is only one option, which is open source. Open source because you can
Mm.
use it for your own. Is Nexus, and aside of that, everything else are public services, which are also free if you're if you publish public packages.
Yeah.
But if you want some privacy, then you need to pay. Yeah. I think that's the key of the project, which actually provides this privacy, the security, and also you can host it in your computer, in your company, in your server.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that privacy is really one of the key projects for because of the project is growing. Another key is because it's really small. It's only one npm package. We will see later, and
Yeah.
it's only 1 megabyte. Um, and it have other feature we will see on the a bit later on some slides I have prepared.
Okay, cool. So right now, actually, 8 people are watching, but we expect it will increase. So let's get into your screen. The people who are actually here in the live, please share your thought. Like if you have any questions or if you just want to say hello to Juan or me or anyone.
Okay. So first of all, this is gonna be really basic introduction. of the project, mostly focused for developers. The project can be used for other reasons and other matters, but we will focus today in developers.
Yeah.
So what Verdaccio, aside of the color, because this is what Verdaccio means in Italian. It's not green, but it's kind of greenish, something like that. So in a nutshell, it's basically a private registry for Node.js. So if you are a JavaScript developer and you need to publish packages, Verdaccio is something you can use for this matter. And also it's a proxy, which what this means. Basically, proxy Verdaccio proxy all the requests to another registry. In this case, by default, is npm.js, where all the packages, public packages, are hosted. And also, it's really lightweight. Like I mentioned, it's really only 1 megabyte. It's offline, so you can actually work offline if you have all your packages cached. And it's open source, so it's completely public. You can see the code. It's there. It's in GitHub, and this is basically what's. We have two logos. The green one and the white black and white version. This is so you can. So what actually do you need for using Verdaccio and only Node.js? If you have Node.js installed in your computer, that's all you need, plus a package manager. And this is based on your own preferences. Actually, Verdaccio works with all of them: PNPM, Yarn, version 1 and 2, Berry, and NPM, all of them.
All versions, right?
Even all of them. So how to install Verdaccio is just like this. You can also use Docker, but we will focus only on Node.js in NPM. And it's just install the package globally. NPM install, global, Verdaccio, and in 1 minute, it's already there.
Yeah.
So how to use Verdaccio? It's only one command, Verdaccio, in the CLI, and that's pretty much all you need to run. You have a few options. For instance, you can change the port. By default, it's in 4873. But yeah, you can use something else if you want, just add in the listing. And by default, Verdaccio create all the configurations. So when you run Verdaccio the first time, you don't need to set up anything else. Just run the project, and Verdaccio knows where it puts the storage, where is the configuration file. But if you want to point to something somewhere else, you can also, with the config flag, use another path you would like. So this is not only for Verdaccio, it's for any private registry. So if you're using GitHub, if you're using another one, the way you can actually tell to the package manager, hey, I want to use this registry, is in these ways. I will use only NPM for the example today, but
yeah, sure, that would be
fine. Different based on the package manager you're using, especially for Yarn 2, which is a really new syntax, and it's really Yarn does not support the registry flagging anymore. So this is the 3 ways. In the example I have here, I will use the one from below with the npm rc file, which is the most popular one. Then I mentioned the config file. The config file is based in YAML, right? And it's really simple. If we will see now the original file, which is created automatically when you run Verdaccio the very first time. And here you can do different things, right? Change the storage location or modify the proxy settings, which by default points to the npm.js, or change the package access. So we will see what the package access is.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's jump to the code, right? Because this is what we like.
Yeah, sure.
So I have already installed Verdaccio, and actually this week I released the latest one. So let's run Verdaccio. So what do you see actually on the first time you're running is what is the config file? Also, you can see which plugins are loaded by default. Verdaccio, you can plug any plugin you want: authentication, middlewares, storage, and so on. So if the two you are seeing here on the screen is the default authentication plugin, and also we have support for npm audit, right?
Yeah.
So you can see the address and the version. So I have created a project for you, Shahada, which is the Destro show example published, right?
Yeah.
And what we are going to do here is we are going to log in, and then we are going to publish the package.
Yeah.
Okay?
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. So, but before to log in, let's verify what is what Verdaccio has created for us, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the folder
It's
with
a
yes.
bit hard to see, but please explain verbally. I think people will. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I cannot zoom. The Mac UI,
Mm,
but I will do my best to explain
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
So Verdaccio create a folder, and in Mac it does in the config.config. It's a hidden file, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And here we can see the config YAML file. I actually have it here already, and so you can see bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, you have a lot of settings, right? The most important is the storage, which is where all these packages you install and you cache because of the proxy are hosted, right? And you can change the web settings. So there are different settings, and you can see all the settings in the documentation. Even you can define by default a different language. We will see the language support later.
Sure.
Here's where you define the authentication you want to use. By default, we use HTTPS D. I don't know how to pronounce that in English, but yeah. So just a simple file. If you know Apache or Linux, this is more or less maybe sounds familiar. We'll see how it looks like because it's really easy. And
Yeah.
here's the app link, right? So I have one app link. By default, it points to npm.js, right? And this is pretty much all we need to know. And remember this name, npm.js uplink.
Yeah.
Then let's go to the next section, which is packages. And the packages basically you define, and you are telling to Verdaccio where he should find the packages and which permissions are required for access this package. Okay.
Yeah.
For instance, all the packages which are in scope, I am telling to Verdaccio, hey, anyone can access these packages, but if you want to publish or publish, you need to be authenticated.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
And please find these packages in the proxy npm.js. And the proxy npm.js points to the uplink.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
So, and we have the same one for this pattern. Basically, it's all of them. We have for the scope and non-scope packages. So I will skip this part because it's pretty much the same. And here we have all the settings I won't mention because it will take a lot. But yeah, you can find all of them in the documentation. So another important file is the database, because when you publish private packages, you have a really tiny database, which I will open here. And in this file, basically, you will have an array of packages. This list actually have all the packages which are only private, right? We will publish a package, and we will see that. And then you have a launch secret key here. And this file this secret is really important because this is the salt you are using to hash the password, right? So if you change this value, invalidate all the tokens.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to the how to use this. Okay. If actually like I mentioned, I have npm RC file and I'm pointing all the requests of the package manager to my local Verdaccio, which is running in this port. Mention run npm info. Imagine I want to know information about jQuery, and Verdaccio, if you see in the log, and this is something I have on my slides, it displays all the activity that's actually it will be behind these things, right?
Yeah.
In this case, we are asking for jQuery, but jQuery is not in the storage because it's a public package, right?
Yeah, true.
So Verdaccio, it's going to npm yes. It's asking, hey, do you have this package? Yes, I have it. And then it's gonna proxy the request forward and backward to fetch this information. And if we go to the storage again, we will see we have jQuery here.
Okay,
Right?
cool. Yeah.
If I install jQuery in the project, we'll see it's downloaded the tarball, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then you will have the tarball in your local computer. So if you are traveling and you don't have internet, you can actually install the same packages from your local storage.
Yeah.
So you won't need internet anymore. And this is what we name offline, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And which is a cool thing if you are on the train or going somewhere, right?
Exactly. And especially if you're, we're not traveling very much at this stage,
Yeah,
but
for this corona, yeah.
but at some point we will back to travel, and then you can use this.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're in a country which you have not really good internet, this is really a good point, a selling point. You will need this, and it's really handy.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so let's publish a package. So let's but to publish a package, you need to be logged in, right? If you recall, we have this package is a scope, right? We have this package, which is not this one. Sorry. So this package we are going to publish is a scope. So if we back to the config file, we can see it has to be authenticated. But how do I know I am authenticated? Do you know how to verify that, Shahad?
So probably we need to log into Verdaccio, or is there an authentication way to do the authentication?
There's a really handy command you can use, which is and yeah. So if you see the Verdaccio is actually recognizing this command, and this null means there is no token, there is no authentication, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you are not authenticated. So how we actually can authenticate? Another way to know you are not authenticated, it's when you actually I can safely share this because there's nothing important. There is an npm RC file in your home file, right? You see, I have already a token, but since I created a new storage, the secret is different, and this token is no longer recognized.
Yeah, this is basically the token for the npm JS registry for the public one, right?
No, and this is pointing to the local one because
this is pointing to the local one. Okay, yeah.
And this is something important. People ask me a lot. Verdaccio does not publish to npm JS. Okay.
Yeah. That's, I think, who are watching, that's a very important thing to know, right? Okay, please carry on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's log in. And actually, there are two commands to log in. Both are the same. And you can use add user and also login. Both do the same thing. So to log in, yeah, let's use something else. One. And yeah, npm JS requires email, but Verdaccio does not require email, so we can write whatever you want, but it has to be an email because otherwise it will be valid.
But with one question, Juan, with this npm login, we are basically doing the traditional npm login, right? But is it something also connected to Verdaccio, like if you do npm login?
Yeah, I mean, actually, if you see in the
Yeah.
if you see in the request, you're actually being logged in. If you see, there is no null anymore. There is one.
Okay. Yeah.
So Verdaccio creates a token and it put it back to your npm.rc file. And if you see
Okay.
it
Yeah.
now, see?
Okay, so basically you are using the same npm login command from the npm, and also in the background doing it via Verdaccio, yeah?
Yes, I mean, Verdaccio recognize almost all the commands you can use with a traditional registry, right?
Okay, yeah, okay.
So
Hmm.
whatever you can do with the public one, not everything, because it's not, you cannot replicate everything, but the most commons and the most used ones by everyone, you can use them. And login is something you will need in the very first time.
True.
Okay, so we are logged in already. Okay, so but let's back to the project and let's see what we have in the package.json. Because when you publish a project, a package, you need to define some information useful, because you want to distribute this package for your friends, your colleagues, or your peers in the company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to actually, I would recommend to add a description for sure, what this package is for, right?
Hmm.
And some keywords, because Verdaccio display the keywords in the UI. Actually, if you're the author and you want people contact you because, hey, what is there is an issue or something, yes, you can actually use also the author tag. License, yeah. And in this case, we have dependencies, okay? And I put them here because Verdaccio allows you to navigate through dependencies in the UI. We will see once we publish the package.
Sure.
There's a lot of fields you can use, right? Contributors, their dependencies, engines, and that should display many of them, right, in the UI. So, okay, so I will remove this line because otherwise the JSON will be invalid. Now we are fine. So, yeah, so something I haven't mentioned yet is Verdaccio is running and you have an UI, right? There is nothing published right now. And so let's publish the package. So you see the package was published correctly, and you have some activity in the server, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there is a put request there, yeah?
Exactly. So that's one way to notice the package was published. So the other way it just refers to the UI. Yeah, so here you will see all the packages listed, your name. This is taken from the package.json, when was published, and all the keywords. Right now, only we display them, but yeah, it's really handy to see whether something, and these icons basically allows you to download the tarball directly. And this is really handy because you don't have to install the package to get the tarball. You can inspect the tarball.
Oh, you can just download it also from there, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
And if you want to see just click on top of the on the link, and then you can see information here, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, based on what you're using, you can use copy the installation you like and just install in your project. Also, you can download the tarball from here.
Yeah.
And all the information we saw in the package.json, it's here. I will show you how it looks like with a really package, really full of information later.
Sure.
And if you recall, we had some dependencies, right?
Yeah.
So here,
React, yeah.
and if we back to the storage, if you see, we have already the package here published. And if we open the database, which we had before, you can see the name of the package is on this list, right?
Yeah, true.
This
True.
is really,
Yeah.
this is a really simple storage. It's all just for your personal development.
So all the packages you publish from your local host now will be actually appended to this array right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a way to know for Verdaccio, be aware which packages are published, private, and which ones are not private, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Because you can actually see them here mixed up. Right?
Yeah.
There is some settings that actually allows you to separate and between public and private packages. But this is some sort of advanced, and there is a guide in the website you can follow. So you can, so if you want to clean up the public, it's really easy to do.
Cool.
Yeah. So if you actually, if you see there is in the storage, there is nothing from React, right? But as long as you click in this dependency, we are fetching information from React, and we have all the project, and suddenly you have the React here. So actually, it has cache all the package, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then you can continue navigating the dependencies. Another one, another one, and all these packages are being added here. Another cache,
Okay. Yeah.
but only the metadata, because
Yeah.
in a package you have two things: the metadata, which is basically the history of all the packages has been published with all the versions, and then you have the tarball, which is unique version, right? What you are caching right now is only the metadata,
Yeah.
unless
So,
you install the package.
yeah.
So let's open the one we
One.
just,
Yeah. One file. Yeah. Yeah.
and it looks really similar to the package, right? The difference is here you can see all the versions, some extra metadata like the time was modified, this distribution tags, app links, and so on.
Yeah.
So this is information for Verdaccio, especially the one which is with the underscore.
Underscore. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, if you want to clean up the cache, basically you need only to remove the package. That's pretty much all. Or if you want to publish the package again, just remove the package and you can publish again.
Yeah.
Just like that. Easy peasy.
Yeah. Also, if I want to, let's say, clean the local cache for Verdaccio, probably there is a command for that I can execute to just clean all the cache in my local.
No. There is a tool I can share later.
Yeah.
One person actually created a really nice tool to clean up the storage.
Okay.
But
cool.
might not work for all sort of storages, but it's an experiment and it will work. But if you want to clean up, you need to do it manually.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I get the point.
Okay. One thing also worth mentioning is every time you change the configuration, for instance, if I write something here and I save the file,
yeah,
I need to restore the server. Okay. I mean, it does not take much, like a few seconds to restore. And yeah, you cannot see it here, but yeah, the title is different now. Okay. Okay, now let's go to something regarding the package access, which is this is the really nice part. So we mentioned right now everyone can access your package, right?
Yeah.
So you're not logged in because I click here, I'm log out, but I don't want anyone to see this package. So how we can do this? You need to create another package access right here in the YAML. Just copy. The order is important, so always on the top of the global one. Replace the scope by the name of your scope. which is the Destro show. And then whatever inside, right? And I want only one access to this package. Only one.
Okay, yeah.
And then I will restore my server. Okay, we have a syntax. Do you see something fishy here? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's nice. Oops. And now if we refresh the, there is no package anymore in the UI. And this is really handy if you have a registry public and you don't want anyone to see your packages. This is the way to go, right?
Yeah.
When you log in, my password is 1, so there is nothing secret here. And there is no package. Change your password because it's too simple. Yeah. Actually, when you have projects like Learner and you need to publish all of them, the easiest way to publish is just run this locally and tell to Learner I publish here locally.
Yep.
One file I didn't mention is the HTTPS file, because once you are logged in, if you open the file, you can see the user I have, right? Juan, and this is the password which is encrypted with the secret we saw before in the Verdaccio DB JSON. And yeah, so that's pretty much how we use the authentication by default, but you can change it, right? There are plugins for OAuth, there are plugins for GitLab, there are plugins for plain files, so you can even define the users right here, the config file. The community create plugins for everything, so or you can create your own plugin. And there is something so this is the way you actually. But let's imagine I want to go offline, completely offline, right? But if you want to go completely offline, you need to remove the proxy setting in all the packages. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All of them. And the server. And let's imagine I want information about Webpack, because Webpack is not in our storage. It won't be found because you are telling to Verdaccio.
Yeah.
Don't go to internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the way it's fully offline.
Yeah, Juan, I actually found another thing like that can be also done by a command, probably just to make this offline, like that commenting out what we are doing manually. Maybe there could be some command Verdaccio go offline, and that can do that manual thing, which could have been better. Just an idea for later. Yeah.
Actually, in Verdaccio 5, which might come this year or later, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to add a flag, name it offline, which actually does this by default.
Yeah.
And this is pretty much what you mentioned now.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, so okay, so let me actually show you. Let me walk through you the UI. We have a public registry, which is only for development, which is the Verdaccio registry. Here we are using Digital Ocean, which basically we are paying like $5 monthly. And this is really, really cheap. I mean, considering what you need to pay for other service, it's really cheap.
Yeah, also please zoom a little bit because some people will probably watch on mobile phone.
Sure.
Yeah, now better. Thanks a lot.
So here we have plenty of packages for development publish.
Yeah.
Actually, search in your published packages. The search is not perfect, but it does the job.
Yeah.
So just search for one package, and here we have one example with all the packages and with a lot of information, right? So if you want this package only being run in Node, from this version, everything is displayed in the UI. Who is involved? Who's the author? Who are the maintainers? Even the fund this package. If you click here, you can actually go to the funding of this package. If you want to go to the project homepage, just click this house, or you want to file an issue. And if you don't speak English, or maybe your developer don't speak English and open speak another language, also you can switch the language if you like. So the community is really amazing. They have contributed to different languages. Here we have Japanese, Chinese, which is really, really a really important community for Verdaccio. There are a lot of users. This is Ukrainian. Yeah, so if you want, anyone want actually to add its own language, just any. It's really simple. We can put as many language you need.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, so like I mentioned before, we can display all the dependencies, all the dev dependencies, and if you have paired dependencies, we also display in here. You can navigate between different packages and different versions, if you like. Let's imagine that you're using the version 0.3.2, and you want to this package. So I just download it from here, and that's all. You don't have to install the package in your local computer. You can actually open the tarball and just package and just play around with it. Look inside. Also, it tells you from which app link it's getting information. In this case, by default, we have only one app link, but it tells you, okay, when was updated, right?
Yeah.
But let's imagine you have a private registry in your company, or you have another registry in other place, right? You only need to add another app link, name it differently, and then add another URL. And if you want your parent package is installed from another registry, just change the proxy. And that's all.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to do.
Okay, so a lot of corporate companies have their like private proxy registry, right? So they can just configure it like that. Like our company also has our own private registry, right? So yeah.
Exactly, because if you want to fetch, when you are running install, the package manager by default can only speak with one registry, right?
Yeah.
So Verdaccio, it resolves all the requests for any registry behind the scenes for you without need to modify the npm-rc file. You can actually add some configuration here, which I don't have an example right now, which is a scope. It only works with a scope. And you can tell, I want this scope fetch from this registry, and so on. But Verdaccio also can do this. Plus, it does not have this limitation of the scope. It can fetch for anyone. You can define your own pattern here, and basically just write something. For instance, if I want Webpack goes through the proxy, my private proxy,
yeah,
it will be only fetched from it, and it will never be fetched from npm yet. And this is really handy if you have a package which has a security problem, and you don't want your company is being affected.
Exactly.
So you can forbid this package to be downloaded. and you don't have to modify every file in every project to do this. You only change in one single place. And then when the package is healthy again, you can only remove the restriction and then can be downloaded again.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
Yeah, the server log, it's really important. If all the activity is there, right? If if you have a bug or you have something is not working, if you're reporting a bug, the server log is really, really important to share. And you can see all the information there. You can modify the level of the log. By default, is really high, like
Yeah,
HTTP. But you have another levels and you can see more details if you like, right?
yeah. One question in this log level, one that is there any ready-made feature with Verdaccio that I want to dump all the logs to a file or something?
Yes. Let me go to documentation because actually in the log in the config file here, and you can actually uncomment this,
Yeah,
and automatically all the logs will be displayed either in the terminal, plus also will be uh, write down on this log file.
on this log file. Okay, awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, cool.
But I have to mention
Hmm.
this feature is deprecated,
Hmm.
and in the next major it will be gone.
Okay.
There is some migration guide and some recommendations, uh, which I will share later.
Hmm.
But yes, you can do that now. But
Okay.
later, maybe not.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, so just ending the my thoughts. Yes, I mean, Verdaccio is a community project, right? It's I'm just one more of the line, um, and this project has contributed more than 200 persons in total. Um, and you can see all the faces here. I mean, there
Yeah.
is below.
Yeah.
Anyone is really, really welcome to contribute. I started contributing this project. Anyone can do it. We are really open. Just open a discussion and file an issue, file a request. If you want to contribute, just do it. I will help you. Someone will help you. Always there is people there willing to help. And for that, we have the new discussions in GitHub, which you can see questions. Really, really on the top, you can see the roadmap for the Verdaccio 5 and the good first issue for contributors. If you click here, you can find instructions and information how to contribute to the project, because nobody's working full-time in Verdaccio. It's voluntary work, and it basically depends of the contributors, right? And
Exactly. Yeah.
you don't have to do a big feature. You can remove a TS ignore. You can um, actually fix a lint warning, improve the types in TypeScript, just update some dependency, add a new language, fix a bug, or improve something. So it's up to you. There is no small thing. Everything is big in Verdaccio.
Yeah. True.
And if you want to know more about the development of the next one, yeah, you can see all the details here on how things are.
So this is basically the roadmap for the next version which is 5. Yeah.
Yes, this is
Hmm.
yeah, because of the pandemic, we have decreased the development and we have less contributors, but yeah, this is going to be out eventually at some point when it's done. So there's no rush. Verdaccio 4 is really popular. It's been downloaded millions of times, so it's fine. So the idea of this version is just improve what we have already with some extra features.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
And yeah, so that's all from my side. So thank you for those who are using Verdaccio. Thank you for those who are contributing to the project. Yeah, just click on the start if you like the project, or just sponsor if your company is willing to do that, or yourself. Usually we invest the money on the servers, on the domains, on byte stickers for the meetups when they're back, hopefully someday. And yes, you can follow me if you like in Twitter. I'm not really active, but also you can follow me in GitHub where I'm really active.
Also, I'm sharing the GitHub link and also Juan's Twitter link here in the below, so everyone can watch that.
And yeah, the verdaccio.org is the official domain, so you can visit the website. One thing about the website, it's in different languages, not fully translated, but yeah, people, the community, it helps a lot, and yes, it's try to help and translate as much as possible so we can reach more and more and more developers.
Yep.
And yeah, that's all from my side.
Okay, that was really a nice introduction, actually, for me also, one, because I mean, I know you for a long time already, as you already mentioned that we both work at the same company.
Yeah.
So I know you, I know your product, but honestly, I didn't use it because I didn't have that scope to use that product. So that was also a very good introduction for me. And I know a lot of people who will watch it later also on the YouTube and also watching this right now are getting a very good introduction from you. And also, by the way, as also this video will be available on the YouTube later on after the live. So if someone has any questions, any confusion that they forgot, they can also watch it again, yeah, on our YouTube channel, which will be a cool thing. And by the way, I already talked with Juan. I will also create a video to summarize like all the Verdaccio things in a like 10-15 minutes video, and I will also post that video in my channel as a summarized version. So that will be also coming, let's say, next month. But Juan is like the lead maintainer of Verdaccio. We are really honored actually to have you here, and as you shared your experience and your product, thanks a lot for that.
Thank you for having me here, for the space, on the time. Yeah, this is my first live, so hopefully I did it right.
This is your first live, and also for me, I'm doing this live for the first time. Like, live means like I'm conducting this live shows for the first time in my life. So that's also my learning. We are learning from our mistakes, so eventually we'll get better and better slowly. And of course, who are watching, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the Destro Dev Show. And please be with us, be with our community, and support open source in general. And also, please give a star to Verdaccio. So I will share the GitHub link here. Also, you can just search on Google Verdaccio. You will find it. And thanks, Juan. And if you want to say something at the end for all of us.
Yeah, so I mean, it has been 4 years working on Verdaccio. Times fly. I'm learning a lot. I meet a lot of interesting people every day. If I help every day someone, if you need help, just reach me. We have a chat. I try to reply when I have time. So, if someone else will do it. But yeah, so the community is growing. I have to share with you guys, today we are reaching 20 million downloads in Docker, which is
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
We are doing 2 millions per month. Basically, we are doing the same downloads that Nexus 3.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and this is really, really a great achievement, not only for me, but the community and the project. And looking forward for see the future of Verdaccio, because the idea and the main idea of this project is to make easier for everyone to learn Node.js, to use Node.js, and they are empowered to have their own registry and don't rely only in online services, which are fine, but not everyone can afford them.
True. True. And by the way, as you said, you are reaching 20 million download at Docker Hub. Docker Hub actually just shows 10 million plus whatever the number is, right? So I think when the 20 million will reach, it will probably just show 20 million in the website. So
Yes.
looking forward to see that actually.
Actually, if you go to the documentation in Docker in Verdaccio, there is
Yeah.
an image in the top, and it says the real number. Nine
Ah, okay.
is almost 20 million. I think
Okay.
we'll reach 20
Awesome.
million this night.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Really, that will be a great news to actually stop the live, right? So, really looking forward to that. And thank you very much, Juan, to join our show. And we will meet always. So, we will also meet here in this live later, and we will meet offline regularly as always we used to do. So,
I want to say something else because I know
we
Nick
also have, yeah,
Nick is watching me, and I have to say to him thanks, because actually the very first time I was a meetup, it was with him, and he was talking there
yeah.
and told me you have to do this, and you will talk someday. And actually, yes, so I never forget that. So thank Nick for that. And this is the achievements that we're doing with this project is also you are a big part of it.
Yeah, thanks to him. And also, we have some comments. I also don't want to miss those. Let's go through that. So, one person named HSC said hello, hello to you. Then Orko said hello, hello, Bhaiya. So, I think he's from Bangladesh. Hello to you. And Nick was there, as you mentioned, I think his name, right? Hello, Nick. Thanks for joining us. And Hriday gave like heart, so thanks for that. Nurul Alam said hi, hi to you. I mean, I'm saying from both of us. If there is any question, I will pass to Juan actually. So
Someone is asking, can I use other package manager aside of npm? Yes, you can
yeah,
use pnpm, yarn classic, yarn version 2, pnpm 6, 5, 7.
yeah,
So yes, you can use all of them.
yeah. So there's the question from Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next thing is Nick said nice package page layout. Yeah, I also liked it. And Noor said, brother, I'm from Bangladesh. Thanks for joining, Noor. Uh, Nick said, cool stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. And
For the UI, also I would like to highlight two of the core members, which are Priscilla and Ajus, which they have actually, and also I don't know her name, but she's from China, and we know
yeah,
her at Meow, and also they actually created the UI from scratch, and yeah, otherwise it will look that cool without their contribution along these years.
okay, cool. Yeah, another last person in our comment list is Porta saying saludos one. Probably saludos mean good luck or something.
Yeah,
Is it Spanish or
it's like hi or what's up,
hi?
like that.
Is it
Yeah,
Spanish?
yes, Wilfredo. Actually, it was one of my colleagues in my very first jobs in Nicaragua,
Okay, yeah.
and yeah, it's a good guy. Hello,
Okay.
Wilfredo.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. From that point, okay, we have another comment. Okay, Lee Marcus, thanks, Congress. Okay, yeah. So from that, thanks. Let's go off for now. We are signing off, and please be with us, be with our channel, the Destro Dev Show, and please subscribe and also share with friends to reach to more people. Bye, everyone.